Hello, my name is Rebecca Hedreen. I'm one of the librarians at Bewley Library. And this video is going to be about AI searching and AI search tools. So AI is getting into everything, so it's not really surprising that it's being added to search tools as well. There are, at this point, a lot of AI-assisted search tools. Some are built into chatbots. Some are standalone. The search part of them all works in more or less the same way, at least as far as we know. So it may help to understand how regular search works first. For an ordinary search, like a basic Google or library search, the thing you need to remember is that you aren't actually searching the whole internet or the whole database. You're searching an index of keywords that are created from the whole material. So the search works by matching the keywords you have in your search to the keywords in the index. AI works a little bit differently. The first step is that a large language model translates your question into concepts. And then it uses those concepts to actually do the search. This part is really proprietary, and they don't tell us very much about it, but it is also one of the things that the whole training thing that you may have heard about with AI, that's part of this, this material. And then it presents the results, and those may include another round of large language model requests to summarize, to organize, or analyze the results in some way or another. There are good and bad things that happen or that can happen in each step, but that's more or less how it works. So the big part of this is just to give you some ideas about what's out there. So for instance, Microsoft Copilot. Microsoft Copilot is part of the University Microsoft licensed package, and which means that you can use a Copilot as a chatbot, but also to search for information and to analyze files that you have in your OneDrive. One of the nice things is that if you are logged in with your campus account, you are under the campus license, which is the enterprise data protection, which is better privacy than the ordinary one. If you use something like Copilot for searching, I highly recommend that you be very specific in your prompts. So you might even tell it things like, don't make things up, or to state, I can't find anything if it doesn't find anything that matches what you want. The problem with chatbots is that they are programmed for conversation, and they don't like disappointing you. And so they will actually make things up rather than tell you that it doesn't have the info that you're looking for. And that includes both plain making things up, what's called hallucinations, and misinterpreting the information to better fit what it thinks the question is that you asked. Another AI tool that is an actual search tool is Perplexity. And you can ask Perplexity, as it says, anything. And then you can also specify different sources. So you can search the whole web, but you can also tell it that you want it only to search academic papers. This allows you to get a better academic-based search, and you might get results kind of like this. And you can see that for each claim, there's a list of sources that you can click on and go and read those articles. One of the nice things is that even if you are not logged in, you can still get a link either to share or to refer back. Okay. The first of our true literature searches is consensus. And one of the interesting things about consensus is that if you ask it a yes-no question, it will give you this consensus meter with how many of the studies that it found say agree yes, possibly mixed results, or no. There's also a lit review option available in consensus, and that's their deep search, and that will actually it gives you more results. It gives pulls more info out of the material. And what's kind of interesting is it actually shows you the steps as it's doing it, though it does take a while. You can use it for free. There's a free tier, and then there's also you can sign up and get more options with a paid account. Okay. Now, Elicit is an even higher powered lit review tool. It's specifically designed, as they say, to amplify research capabilities. And one of the interesting things about this is that it will actually pull things out and give you outputs like a table that you can customize. So what's the paper? In this case, it's looking for models, but you could ask it for what instrument was used, what species did they study on, what grade level, all sorts of things like that. Elicit does require an account. There is a free tier. If you are interested in using something like this, I would suggest trying it out on the free tier. The paid options are a lot better, but you can pay by the month, so it might be something that would be worth paying for a couple of months when you're in the midst of a big literature review. On a different sort of thing, Google Notebook allows you to upload pretty much any kind of source. It does not have to be academic, and then ask questions and produce documents from them. So one of the things that you can do is to produce a podcast, a little back and forth between a couple of AI-generated voices. It's actually quite good. You can do study guides or just ask questions about it. Okay. My last actual search tool, this is currently my favorite search tool for academic search. It uses Semantic Scholar's database of millions of articles and abstracts. But one of the things that I really like is that it's very, very clear what it's doing. So I put in this question: how can we mitigate library anxiety for college students? And it pulled out the concept of library anxiety mitigation strategies. I did not use the word strategies. So that's coming up in its translation of my question. It also recognizes that college students are my target population, and that any paper that tackles my question is probably going to have some kind of measurement and a definition and measurement of library anxiety. And then for each of these, it actually gives it a score. Is it perfectly relevant? Is it just relevant? And it tells me which one it doesn't it doesn't match. I can also have it show me the evidence for each of these things. These are papers that are quotes that are pulled from the paper. So this gives me a really good idea of what's available. I can also do a literature summary, and then it generates more of a narrative version of this. And so, I can ask it to extract info from the papers, do comparisons, things like that. Here's an example of a literature review. So in this case, I specifically asked about methodologies and instruments. And it has sources for each and breaks it up. I've thought that this would be really useful when you're trying to figure out like what to write about, what pieces to include in your work. Though in most cases you would obviously want to expand this significantly as well as write it in your own words. It also gives a list of the sources that it used for this. So the combination of these two I think would be quite useful, especially when you're exploring a new topic. So there are many, many more tools out there. These are just a few that I've tried, the ones that I found that had decent results. If you want to try out other tools, I highly recommend searching for something that you know a lot about already, so that you can judge how good the results are. Now, all of these were very search-specific tools, and those are generally the ones that I'm recommending right now. But I think in the future, they're going to be more and more incorporated into other types of tools. I fully expect that pretty soon Copilot will be thoroughly integrated into Microsoft Word, for instance. A few of the early ones that I'm finding very interesting is something like Logically, which is based on a citation manager. So a place that you can store and organize the references that you're using. But it's now a full writing platform, and it allows you to upload materials or find them and import them into the tool. So it has a search component, but you can also query the papers, as they say, ask them questions. You can get summaries, ideas of what topics you might want to cover in a paper, and there's a platform for writing, and it will help you cite them as well. Another example of AI incorporated into something is the Dia browser, which is a browser based on Google Chrome, and it's currently available in beta and only on the Mac, but they are planning to release Windows and mobile versions. One of the things that I like about it is that it has all of these built-in tools, including a fact checker. And so you can go to a web page, click on the fact check, and it pulls information out of the page that you're on and cross-checks it. I think this is a really interesting way of incorporating this kind of AI chat tool into something that we all use all the time. You do need to be careful about what you enter and upload into any cloud-based service, including AI tools. Remember that most of them are using your data for training and for business purposes, so you don't want to upload anything that's really sensitive or very personal. I think that the current search tools out there are best used for exploration, they shouldn't be your only search. I like to use them in conjunction with traditional library searching. And I find that they're really useful for getting some background knowledge or kind of getting started. You can use them to find what are called seed papers that you can base future searches on. You do need to remember that AI tools don't understand what you're doing. It's not like working with a human. They're matching patterns, and that's going to affect the results that you get. So what you ask it is very important, how you ask it. Even the best tools, the ones that I've recommended today, ones that are being developed right now, those also have problems. You always need to check the data and the conclusions presented to you. For the search tools, it's less a matter of the hallucinations, the making stuff up completely, and more a matter of interpretations, leaving things out. A lot of them seem to tend to emphasize positive results and not emphasize negative results. And then there are ethical issues with these AI tools, which I'm not covering in this presentation, but I think are important and things that you should educate yourself about before you start using these. You do need to use your own judgment as to whether these tools are acceptable to your ethics. But you should know about them so that you can make an informed choice. And it is perfectly all right to decide that you do not want to use these tools. Nothing wrong with that. This video will be included in the library's AI playlist on YouTube, which we welcome you to check out. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.